Right now at 6, a study shows nearly half of employees are feeling burned out. How people in our area are dealing with that on this Labor Day holiday. And how Madisonians spent the holiday helping support children in our community. Plus, how a free event is helping UW students take in the terrace views ahead of the school year.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us. We hope your Labor Day holiday is going well. Work burnout is something many have had to deal with. It's now, as of this year, even classified as an occupational phenomenon by the World Health Organization in its diagnostic handbook. The syndrome means being tired, feeling negatively about your job, and reduced productivity. On this Labor Day, our Madeline O'Neill looks into the burnout.
Spending the day at the Memorial Union Terrace feels like the opposite of being at work, and for many who experience burnout, that's a good thing.
Sometimes it's pretty stressful.
Jobs can take their toll.
Just stress and being tired all the time.
Being here near the water.
Well, there's nothing better than the terrace. Like, Madison is my happy place.
Gives an opportunity to reflect.
Labor Day is just kind of a day of sitting back and reflecting of why am I doing this and what are my goals, and then how am I going to change to do the things that I enjoy better.
Mike and Laura Vallada are happy to be spending time with their daughter, with no boxes to check off.
We're definitely just hanging out and enjoying our day off. We don't get them very often together.
Especially since they're both familiar with long work days, job stress, and even burnout.
So when I get off, I try and shut that off and come home and relax if I can. But days like this is actually very helpful.
That can be hard when phones and work emails are never far away.
You're always thinking about your job, so I think that's more burnout to me, is that it really never shuts off.
The World Health Organization classifies burnout as an occupational phenomenon caused from unmanaged chronic workplace stress. While it's not considered a medical condition, it's characterized by a lack of energy, increased cynicism, and decreased productivity in the workplace, something familiar to those at this table as well.
I think it's when you lose your passion and motivation for what you're doing in your job. I just don't feel real excited about going to work, and then, it's time to take a break.
Breaks can be as simple as a meal by the water on a holiday honoring the everyday worker.
I think it's really nice to have a day set aside to value that, whether we spend that thinking about that or just ourselves being in the workforce, taking that time to relax and feel appreciated.
Even if it's only for a day, it's just what the doctor ordered. The only obligation, to relax.
It's been nice.
In Madison, Madeline O'Neill, News 3 Now.
The World Health Organization says it will develop evidence-based guidelines on mental well-being in the workplace. Local residents spent their Labor Day helping support children in our community.
3, 2, 1, go!
Families gathered at the Vilas Park shelter for the annual Labor Day Dash. Participants could do a 5K run walk, a 10K run, or a tot trot, which is a mini dash for the smallest of competitors. The money raised is going towards Safe Harbor Child Advocacy Center, now celebrating its 20th anniversary. A celebration in Madison today honoring labor. The South Central Federation of Labor celebrating its annual Labor Fest, a free event happening right now at the Labor Temple grounds on Park Street. There were band performances, magic shows, face painting, and a bounce house.
40 hours, 40-hour work week, overtime, all these things we take for granted. The weekends, holidays, those are all due to the unions. And the unions, when I say the unions, I mean workers coming together to say we want better. And we want better not just for ourselves, but for everyone else we work with and our community.
Their Community Services Committee also collected household goods, including deodorant, small bottles of laundry detergent, and food gift cards for homeless students in the Madison area. Let's check your first alert forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, things are pretty quiet across much of southern Wisconsin. There have been a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms that have popped up. On visible cloud track, skies are generally partly sunny across southern Wisconsin right now, but there are some storms to our north and west. Storm Prediction Center has a slight to enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms north and west of Madison overnight, and then a slight risk south and east of Madison tomorrow afternoon. Already a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for parts of western Minnesota as a line of storms starts moving southeastward. That'll probably reach us late tonight, but right now, just a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures are in the mid-70s to the lower 80s. Dew point temperatures are pretty high, mid-60s to the lower 70s. You're feeling the humidity out there. Thunderstorms are most likely tomorrow morning, a slight chance tomorrow afternoon. In between, look for a windy, warm, and humid day tomorrow with a high of 80. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Okay, Gary, thank you. Police say a man suspected in an armed attack in Madison was found hiding in the trunk of a woman's vehicle. This happened on the east side of Madison Sunday night. Madison police responded to a report from an 18-year-old man who said someone was threatening him with a gun. An officer arrived and saw the suspect striking the victim shortly before the suspect fled on foot and then in a vehicle leaving that area. That vehicle was spotted on North Thompson Drive at Highway 30. The deputies stopped the vehicle, detained the driver, a 19-year-old woman. Police said law enforcement officers then searched the vehicle and found the 23-year-old suspect in the trunk. 2 fake handguns were also found. A man is facing multiple charges after he threatened people with a knife in an incident on a Near East Side Madison street today. Madison police say it happened just after 10 p.m. 31-year-old Tony Olson walking in the 800 block of East Main with a man and a woman. Police say Olson pulled a knife and verbally threatened them. When officers arrived, he still was holding that knife before tossing it to the ground and then was taken into custody. Police say no one was injured. Olson now facing tentative charges of second-degree reckless endangerment, disorderly conduct while armed, carrying a concealed weapon, and 2 counts of felony bail jumping. A Lodi man accused of firing a weapon outside a home during a domestic incident is now facing multiple tentative charges. The Lodi Police Department says officers and Columbia County deputies responded to a call this morning reporting a domestic disturbance in the 600 block of Sunrise. Police say during that incident, 55-year-old Robert Clark discharged a gun outside a residence. He was arrested on suspicion of domestic-related recklessly endangering safety, criminal damage to property, and disorderly conduct. The police department said there was no further threat to the public. Police are searching for a naked burglar who stole cash from a downtown Madison man's apartment. Police say the victim was sleeping in an apartment in the 300 block of South Hamilton when he was awakened by an intruder who told the victim he simply wanted to wake him up. Police say the intruder walked through the apartment before going back into the bedroom, asking the victim if he had any cash. The burglar then went through the victim's wallet on the dresser, took the cash in it before leaving. UW-Madison students and union members are taking in the sights of the Terrace. Wheelhouse Studios hosting the Terrace Paint-tacular, considered Madison's largest paint event. UW students and union members created a terrace chair with a sunset design using a watercolor, pencils, and watercolor paper drawing during the annual event. Organizers say Paint-tacular is a great event ahead of the new school year.
It's a great way to kick off the school year. Students are excited to start the semester and families come out and we have a great time.
Wheelhouse Studios says it's providing art classes all year long, offering free Art Fridays on the first Friday of the month for all students and union members. Positive messages are being written on the sidewalks at Kennedy Elementary School this ahead of the new school year. Students and parents are participating in the Chalk the Walk event. They hope it makes everyone's first day of school a little brighter.
The idea is just get people really excited for the first day of school and to maybe put some positive messages out there that maybe not every child gets to hear in the morning and just help them set their day off right, because mornings can be tough, especially on the first day of school. So we're really excited to maybe get people excited tonight and tomorrow morning about school.
Now, this is the 3rd year parents and students wrote positive messages on the sidewalks. More to come on News 3 Now at 6. Up next, how a family whose son had a heart transplant is giving back. Tell you that story. And later, with the growing partnership between police and the popular doorbell camera company Ring. It is raising some privacy concerns nationwide, but is there any reason for alarm? That story tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Welcome back. Law enforcement is turning to every resource available when it comes to fighting crime, and that includes residents themselves. Over 400 law enforcement agencies all around the country are partnering with Ring Doorbell using their Neighbors app to work with members of the community in case any one of those surveillance camera doorbells captures anything that may be associated with any crime. But privacy advocates wonder if it's maybe too much surveillance. Tonight at 10, we'll hear from Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney about its recent partnership with Ring and a Madison resident who had a similar concern about privacy.
I was kind of uncertain as to where they were going with that, but then it became pretty clear that it was kind of looking to be like a social neighborhood watch kind of thing.
Another tool to assist in identifying suspects and solving crimes and bringing resolution to victims of crime.
So tonight at 10, we'll learn more about how Ring is responding to those concerns, how you can be certain that your privacy is protected should you decide to take on a Ring doorbell and use their Neighbors app. That's tonight on News 3 Now at 10. A Wisconsin Dells family whose baby had a heart transplant is paying it forward. News 3 Now first spoke with Travis and Melinda Cornford last April when their 6-week-old son Heath was waiting for a transplant for his rare heart condition. Now this July, Heath and his family celebrated the anniversary of receiving his new heart. Heath's parents say the 1.5-year-old now is doing great. He also has a 4-month-old sister as well. The Cornfords have started a nonprofit called A Heart for Heath, which offers care packages to area families with children in the cardiac ICU, with the eventual goal of helping with things like mortgage payments as well.
A lot of people donated to our family, so we want to give back.
We're fortunate we got to bring our son home, and he's doing well, and I really want to be able to help pay it forward.
Heath's parents are holding a mud race in Boston on Saturday afternoon to raise money for their nonprofit. A blood drive will then be held in Heath's honor on Friday, September 27th as well. We'll have all the details of those events, along with a link to Heath's blog on our website, channel3000.com. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 6, at least 5 people are dead after Hurricane Dorian slams into the Bahamas. Now what Florida officials are saying as they prepare for the storm. Meanwhile, around here, a beautiful Labor Day all across southern Wisconsin. There could be some storms on the way, and Gary will fill us in with all the latest details in your First Alert forecast moments away. Menace says at least 5 people have died in the Abaco Islands as Hurricane Dorian continues to pound that region as a Category 4 storm. For the second day, the hurricane stalled out over the island chain with winds gusting at times over 220 miles an hour. And now in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis says the state remains on guard.
This has been frustrating, I know, for a lot of people because this seems like we've been talking about this for a long time, but we are in a situation where the storm is stalling very close to our coast. It is going to make a movement, and the movement that it makes is going to have a lot of impact on Floridians.
Well, the governor in Florida urging residents to pay attention to all evacuation orders, which have also now been issued for coastal areas in South Carolina and Georgia as well. And North Carolina's governor warned that his state could see heavy rain and flooding later this week. The municipal electric utilities of Wisconsin sent dozens of crew members along with bucket trucks and other equipment down to Florida to help. Crews from Black Earth, Mazomanie, Lake Mills, Fenimore, and Prairie du Sac all headed out yesterday to help. They're expected to be in Florida for about 10 days or so. And Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now with a look at Hurricane Dorian to see what it's doing right now. Gary.
Yeah, it is still a very powerful hurricane. Just off the Florida coast, a little bit of a movement toward the west, more than forecast, means that Florida could really see a big impact. But right now, just the outer bands of Dorian are moving inland with some gusty thunderstorms, and you can see this is the visible satellite imagery, so as you get close to sunset, the light goes away and you're not able to see the storm itself. But here's the latest from the National Hurricane Center when we superimpose the radar on top of it. Maximum sustained winds 145 miles per hour, so that's a powerful Category 4 hurricane, just below Category 5 strength, nearly stationary. It's been sitting over the northern Bahamas, just lambasting the northern portions of the islands. It is starting to make a jog toward the northwest, or at least will be very shortly. The computer forecast models keep it just, or at least the center of it, just off the Florida coast, but certainly close enough to impact the East Coast with high surf, high winds, and heavy amounts of rain. The official forecast track from the National Hurricane Center keeps it as a Category 4 or a strong Category 3 hurricane through the next couple of days as it slowly moves northward just off the coast. But again, just a small, this is the cone of uncertainty, and that certainly encompasses the eastern portion of Florida as well as parts of coastal Georgia and the Carolinas. It's forecast to gradually weaken a little bit as it accelerates out toward the northeast and eventually up toward Nova Scotia about 5 days from now. Around here, we've just had a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms, but to the north and west, there's an area of severe thunderstorms in western or eastern North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. There's an enhanced to slight risk of severe thunderstorms north and west of Madison for tonight. And tomorrow, that severe weather threat shifts to the south and east. The storms will come through the Madison area late tonight, early tomorrow morning, when the atmosphere is at its most stable point. So hopefully that'll weaken the storms a bit. But you can see a pretty intense line of thunderstorms sweeping southeastward. A severe thunderstorm watch there until 11 p.m. Around southern Wisconsin, just a couple of pop-up showers or an isolated thunderstorm this evening. Our better chances of rain will be late tonight into tomorrow morning. Live view from the WISC Skycam. Looks a little ominous as a couple of heavier clouds build up, but not a lot of rain out of them. The Edgewater Skycam showing partly sunny skies over the capital. High today, 82. The low temperature at 60. And right now, we're at our high for the day of 82. Winds light out of the north at 5 miles per hour. The dew point temperature at 66. Temperatures range from just above 50, or right around 50 in Superior to the lower 80s over southern Wisconsin. Notice the lake breeze keeping the Milwaukee and Green Bay areas much cooler as well. And dew point temperatures are climbing to our south and west as these storms head southeastward. They're going to tap into that moisture and bring quite a bit of thunderstorm activity across Wisconsin late tonight into tomorrow morning. So a slight chance of a thunderstorm this evening, then a better chance late tonight, otherwise cloudy and mild with a low of 66. For tomorrow, thunderstorms in the morning, then it'll turn windy, warm, and humid in the afternoon with a high of 80. There is a chance for some thunderstorms to pop up mid to late afternoon, but they'll move through very quickly. On future track, you can see a pop-up shower or storm this evening. The best chances of storms late tonight into tomorrow morning. Those move out, and then you can see a little line of thunderstorms developing right along the cold front. The timing on this, somewhere probably mid to late afternoon, but you can see by 3:30, these storms may already be down around Janesville and heading southeastward. Once they clear out, look for partly cloudy skies. Cooler, less humid air moves in. Temperatures drop back into the mid-50s by early on Wednesday morning. And Wednesday, look for high temperatures only in the upper 60s, even though we'll see partly sunny skies. Rainfall amounts generally will be around a half inch. Some areas could pick up over an inch of rain in a heavier shower or thunderstorm. Otherwise, the 7 to 10 day forecast calls for high temperatures low to mid-70s Thursday and Friday. A slight chance of a shower Thursday. Into the weekend, Saturday, look for partly sunny skies, but Sunday, so we'll see some rain develop, and then Monday, some showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures next week between about 70 and 75.
There's plenty of praise to go around as the Badgers head to week 2. JT23 and the Big Fellas are up next.
Hello, I'm Amy Reed. Tonight on the news at 9, authorities in California are searching for dozens of people who are missing and feared to be dead after a massive boat fire. We'll have the latest information tonight on Fox 47.
News.
Coming into the season, there was a question mark hovering over the Wisconsin offensive line. Now, it's a small sample size, but if the season opener was any indication of things to come, they appear to be trending in the right direction. Jonathan Taylor and Nikhil Watson rushed for 215 of the Badgers' 234 yards, and Wisconsin ran through the Bulls. Today, Taylor was quick to praise the O-line, led by the lone returning starter from last year.
We have Tyler Biadasz back, which was huge. A lot of people talked about our young offensive line, but for him being our anchor, being able to lead those younger guys, I knew we would be fine at that position.
That's what we're keep on striving for, is to be great every week. We have a great group, and I'm excited. We put up, how many points up on the board. Like it's a really good, but we definitely can get better from it, and I'm excited.
Packers fans only have to wait 3 more days to see the new-look offense of first-year head coach Matt LaFleur and 15-year veteran Aaron Rodgers. Now, the company line has been consistent. Not rolling it out in the preseason worries no one. Rodgers said he's excited about the things they've done in training camp, and there's going to be more to come as the Packers start with Thursday's rivalry game against the Bears.
I like the foundational start for this offense. I think it could be very tough to stop. Because of the stress it puts on defenses with their eye control and pattern reading and reading the alignments. But we have a lot of room to grow.
Like the Packers, the Bears chest thumping over their 100th year of football, and they think it's going to be a big one. Coming off a surprise 12-4 season a year ago, second-year head coach Matt Nagy isn't getting ready to write anything in the history books. They're just getting ready for Thursday.
Only worry about one thing, and that's today's practice. And I'm not saying that, that's real. We got to worry about today. and then worry about tomorrow, and then let's go try to get that first win.
Brewers Astros, little Labor Day action. Top of the first, Yasmani Grandal. First pitch he sees. He likes it and hits his 22nd homer of the season to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead. Top of the sixth, Yordan Alvarez takes Brent Suter deep. Ties the game at 1. Bottom of the ninth, the shift is on. Christian Yelich, I think he beats it. But the bad news here is George Springer has hit a home run for the Astros, who lead 3-2 in the 10th. The Cubs haven't scored a run since Friday. Yeah, they didn't score until the 7th today against the Mariners. Down 1-0, Anthony Rizzo, liner to center. He's going to score Jason Hayward, and that ties the game at 1, and they'd score more. Bases loaded for Kyle Schwarber. Perfect placement, right off the bag. It's going to clear the bases. That made it 4-1. Cubs win 5-1. The final at Wrigley. Bobby and Barclay Plager played for the Blues in the 60s and 70s. Barclay died in 1988 from brain cancer. Bobby got his day with the Stanley Cup and celebrated with his brother. Every player and a handful of team legends get a day with the Stanley Cup. They poured some Bud Light out for his brother. It's never too late. First Stanley Cup in franchise history. The family was there. You get it on the interwebs, so celebrate as long as it takes, right?
That's kind of cool.
Man. Yeah, yeah. How many times you can take the Stanley Cup anywhere for a whole day?
A little remembrance.
That's
there.
right.
Let's go to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, things very quiet around here right now. Just a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But to the north and west, we're watching the potential for severe weather across Minnesota and moving into Wisconsin overnight. An enhanced to slight risk of severe thunderstorms north and west of Madison. And that's for that line of storms that's still way back in northwestern Minnesota, but it's starting to accelerate toward the south and east and will reach us late tonight. Right now, just a couple of pop-up showers, an isolated thunderstorm here or there, so nothing really to worry about this evening. Temperatures right now, upper 70s to the lower 80s, but the dew point temperatures, mid 60s to the lower 70s, so it is quite a bit more humid than yesterday. High tomorrow of 80, thunderstorms in the morning, and then maybe late in the afternoon along the cold front, and after that, temperatures drop back into the upper 60s for Wednesday. We'll see temperatures mainly between about 70 and 75 next week.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. We'll be back at 10.